Yeah, okay, you can sit down now. What was that clicking noise? Oh, the light's on. Nobody tells me anything around here. Hey, lemonade. This really is lemonade this time. Oh, not that the others weren't lemonade, it's just this one's a bit more lemonade-y. I can really taste lemon in that one. Okay, so we're on to song number 8, and it's entitled So Sorry Jane. And I thought I would dedicate this one to my good friend Justin for 2 reasons. One, because unfortunately, because of a silly mistake I made a few years ago, he fell out with me, and I'll explain that one in due course. The second reason is because he went through one of these heartbreak splits. You know, I love you, but I am not in love with you. How many times have we heard that one? I still don't know what it means. Anyway, Justin I've known since school, and I don't know if his mother and father thought too deeply about what they were going to call him, because his surname happens to be Case. And you know, schoolboys, how they like to rib each other, just in case. You better wear a bulletproof vest, just in case you bump into an assassin. You better take some condoms out tonight, just in case. You know, silly schoolboy stuff like that. I don't actually think that name is particularly, you know, laughable or whatever. There must be thousands of just in cases out there, and a lot more other names which could be made fun of, and that doesn't seem particularly one of them. But anyway, just in case, I am dedicating this next song for you. What happened? Justin was married for about 15 years, I believe, and their relationship was getting a little bit rocky. So they decided to have one of these second honeymoon type of things, and with their savings, they decided to go to Japan, because Japan is quite expensive, but exotic. And so they thought that would be a nice place to visit. Anyway, so off they went, and I have to say at the beginning it didn't go too well, because his wife took a shine to another man, and this other man happened to be a sumo wrestler, which was quite strange, because Justin is quite thin and she always claimed to prefer slim men. But anyway, there she is with this sumo wrestler. Anyway, one evening, I don't know, possibly Justin had one sake or two too many. You know, that drink, they have alcoholic drink in Japan, they have it a little bit warm, and I don't think that might have improved his mood when he saw his wife out with the wrestler in a fish restaurant. I don't know if love and alcohol mix, but he definitely got a bit angry. Anyway, so he went into the restaurant and challenged the sumo wrestler to a fight, which, you know, doesn't sound too clever a thing to do. He was probably about a quarter of the size of the other chap. But anyway, all credit to the wrestler. Being a professional fighter, I don't know if they're allowed to get into street brawls. Anyway, he turned his back on Justin, which seemed to infuriate him even more. And well, you know, these fish tanks they have in some of these fish restaurants where you can pick your own dish, knowing that it's fresh because it's still there floating around, hopefully not smiling at you. I don't know if fish can smile, can they? Anyway, he put his hand into the tank and pulled out the first thing, which happened to be a very large lobster. And well, 1,000,000 to 1 chances happen 9 times out of 10. And as he swung the lobster, the wrestler's head. The claw happened to catch hold of his ear, and it tore the thing clean off. There's blood everywhere from what I heard. So anyway, the wrestler, he passed out. I don't know from shock or from loss of blood, but boom, down he went onto the floor, into the blood and the ear. Well, oddly enough, his wife thought, well, Justin's fighting for me, how gallant is that? And she went back to him, and everything seemed fine. And yes, off they went back to England. But sometime later, I'm not quite sure how long, they actually did split up, and they both remarried. And Justin now lives happily in Penge. But his wife, she remarried a circus clown, which isn't too unusual in itself, except for this circus clown happened to be, and probably still is, a dwarf. You know, one of those little men, which is quite strange, because one moment she's with this great big giant, and the next she's with this little bloke. Who can say what goes through people's minds? I don't know. Anyway, this next bit I heard second hand. I don't know if it's true or not, but I did hear that Justin challenged the dwarf to a fight. I don't know if he's fueled up on alcohol again, but it doesn't sound a very brave thing to do. Unfortunately for Justin, the dwarf was a martial arts expert, and he beat the living daylights out of Justin, who ended up in hospital for quite a long time actually. And well, this bit, as I said, is second hand, and I don't know if it's actually true, but what I do know is that Justin developed a phobia for little people, anyone under 5 foot, any adult under 5 foot, well, he just goes to pieces. I don't know if there is such a thing as a dwarf phobia. There seems to be phobias for all sorts of things these days, but if there is a dwarf phobia, then Justin has it, yes. Anyway, what happened, sometime later, his wife and him, they had a child, and I thought it would be a nice thing if I sent the child a present. So I picked a DVD of Snow White and sent it off. But of course, in the story of Snow White, there are 7 dwarfs. And well, Justin took it the wrong way, and he hasn't spoken to me since. But you know, I just wasn't thinking it was a genuine mistake. So this is why, Justin, if you see this, please accept my apologies. As I say, it was a genuine mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly, and that is why I am dedicating this song to you. So, sorry, Jane. So, here we go, for you, just in case. Okay. F, A, B, C, D, E, F, F. Okay. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. So sorry, Jane, oh please come back. I'll exercise to get a 6-pack. Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, 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 please come back. Splitting up was a big mistake. I can't eat, I'm as thin as a rake. Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, 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 please come back. I can't live without you, dear. Don't you know I really need you here? Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, 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 please come back. I'm not well, I feel rather queer. Come and wipe away my tear. Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, 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 please come back. I love your hair and voluminous pair. I'll buy you things you love to wear. I'm begging, darling, on one knee, even though I need to pee. Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, 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 please. Oh, oh, please come back. I'll buy 2 tickets to go to Spain, just to get away from the rain. Oh, 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 please come back. Oh, please come back. Well, Justin, that was for you. And I hope, as I say, you forgive me for my lack of thought there. So we're now going to go on to song number 9, and I think it's going to be a little bit sad because it is the last song, and it is a little bit of a weepy in the beginning, but as I said, it does have a surprise at the end. And not only is it sad because it's also the last song, and I feel we've got to know each other a lot with this video. You know, I feel I've got to know you, and I hope you've got to know me. Well, speaking of Justin earlier, it just shows how one thing leads to another. You know, if I hadn't trodden on a hamster accidentally, I may not have been a famous artiste. Who knows? Well, I will see you, my fans, at song number 9.